Hello, everyone. Welcome. Today we are celebrating debut author C.T. Masaga's cover reveal for his very first book. That's what debut means. And we're so excited. So it is a YA dystopian in a very unique setting. So we think you're going to like it. Chris, are you ready to reveal this awesomeness to the world?
I'm all set. Let's do it.
Excellent. All right. Well, first, let me read your bio. So, C.T. Mosaga is the Chicago-based author of science fiction and fantasy. His debut young adult science fiction novel, November's Dawn, which we are here to celebrate, will be released in spring 2024 and is the start of a planned trilogy. Chris didn't start writing seriously until after college, but when he finally did, he eagerly embraced it and hasn't turned away since. When he's not immersed in reading or writing, two vital elements of his life as an author, Chris enjoys playing tennis, exploring the many worlds of video games, and navigating the skies flying drones, even if his aerial footage is mostly appreciated by himself. Yay, Chris, welcome. Welcome to the CDS crew. How do you like it over here?
It's great. I'm happy to be a part of it, and I'm really thrilled to see where this journey kind of takes us.
Yay. Well, we are so happy to have you, and let us reveal the cover.
I'm ready.
Ta-da! What do you think?
All right.
What do you think? Look at that beautiful cover. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's very dystopian.
Yeah, I think it really captures the sort of mood and energy of the story as well as particularly the environment that I chose to write the story in. So it's it's going to be great.
Yes, yes, the crowd is loving it as well. So nicely done. So, quick question. We teased them a little bit about this being a unique setting. So, what can you tell us about this setting?
Sure. So, like Kelly said, November's Dawn is a YA sort of science fiction dystopian story, and a big part of that story and the environment is that it takes place underwater. This is sort of with a unique spin of it takes place on a gigantic sort of arc that humanity boards to save, sort of the end of the world. And this arc actually walks along the bottom of the ocean. So, it's always moving. It's always in a different spot. It's sort of a central tenet in how, humanity survives in this post-apocalyptic future.
I mean, they do say that the sea levels are rising, right? So, I mean, we've seen evidence of it, and
Yeah.
so hence this actually makes sense. It's one of those things dystopian does where it is, and post-apocalyptic, right? Is that it kind of takes something we're afraid of anyways, and then makes it happen. So
Mhm.
it's very clever story writing. Where did you come up with the name November's Dawn?
Yeah, so that actually, for whatever reason, little background actually, my birthday is in November. So November right off the bat
Ooh.
is my favorite month. And it actually originated back when I was younger playing video games with my brothers. November's Dawn was one of my gamer tags that, I just thought up one day. And so I've always kind of, been fascinated with that sort of connection right there. And then I always thought, that would sound really cool if it was the name of, a ship or, some sort of large vessel. So that is where that one originated for the name.
Okay, I didn't even know that. That's hilarious that that was your gamer tag. We use
Yeah.
those a lot around CDS, so I think that's hilarious. I knew you'd fit right in. See, it totally works. Well, real quick, with that little bit of background in there, let's read the back cover copy. So, years after the mysterious death of her father, 16-year-old Josie Owens, who is featured on the cover there, wants nothing more than to carry on his legacy as an engineer aboard November's Dawn. This colossal walking ark has traveled the bottom of the oceans, carrying the last remnants of humanity after an all consuming flood. But Josie's dreams drown when she discovers the secret her father died for. The ark was never meant to stay submerged. This knowledge makes Josie and those she loves an instant target to those who would sacrifice anything to keep the status quo from changing, and to those who want nothing more than to upend the firm hierarchy. At the same time, a glitch in the navigation system sends November's Dawn directly toward a miles-deep trench. Faced with a multitude of challenges, Josie wonders if pursuing her father's last wishes is worth the cost. Corruption and injustice permeate the last vestiges of humanity. But what if the great unknown of the world above is worse than their fragile existence below? If she follows her father's vision, the ark could be destroyed in the surface. If she follows the rebels, revolution could tear the ark apart from within. One way or another, Josie is the only one with the knowledge to make the final decision. If she makes the wrong one, not only will the ark fail, but the last spark of humanity will fade into darkness. It sounds so horrid. Poor Josie. That's just not fair.
Leaders are thrust into the spotlight.
I love it. Well, plus you chose a young protagonist to tell the story from. And why did you make that decision?
I think, as more or less a young person myself, who grew up, especially reading young adult, particular as that genre kind of, built out a name of itself.
Mm-hmm.
It's very easy to resonate with a lot of those, sort of problems that arise, as a young person, or, you think, everything in life is just affecting you, but it's, you gotta, you don't realize that it's, lots of people going through the same thing. So a lot of those
Mm-hmm.
messages, I feel like, are very, I don't want to say easy, but, it's easy to feel the connection to them. And so, I was able to really resonate with what that sort of voice looks like.
I love it. I love it. It's very fair way to think about it. Um, we had a fun putting this cover together and making it angled and all that because it was kind of hard to make the cover in like they're basically since they're living underground or under the ocean in this tube, just a really big one, but still it's a tube.
Mhm.
So I love like you can see the outside and all of those things except you can't because it's really dark. He did a good job on that. Did I tell you one of his first versions had like the ocean and a diver?
Oh yeah, we don't need that.
Yeah. I was like, they're really deep down. Like they're not gonna see
Yeah,
any divers out there. It was pretty
no, that
funny.
that would be a problem. So,
That's really different world. We're like, yeah, this world you thought was ending. No, it's fine. They're on vacation in Hawaii right now. I don't understand the problem. It was really cool. But I have to say, the cover artist did a great job of discerning our general what we needed and getting it done. And this is Yvonne, I'm going to assume is how you pronounce his name since I've not met him in person yet. And he's in Italy. So it was really fun to kind of get a different look on this. So we want to thank him very much. We're very sad he could not be here tonight or today, this time. And so it's a very odd time for Italy, it seems. So he could not be here, but we're very grateful we were able to find him, and he did a wonderful job. Um, so we will look forward to what he does for the next ones. I love him. Oh, and Zafo, if you want to put up the pre-order link, so we can make sure anyone who wants right now to get that pre-order to know that you want to see it and you're excited about it, you want to get it now, make sure you pre-order it and it will show up in your inbox on, I probably should have had that already ready. April 9th. April 9th, a date that seems so far away and now is just right around the corner. Are you excited?
I am. Thinking back when we sort of started this journey, I was
Mhm.
like, oh, it's all years away. Um, and now those years are here.
And
So
now it is. And now here it is. It's right here. It's so exciting. So we do, of course, like we like to do on our cover reveals, we want to give you, since you were so kind to show up, a nice little cool inside look at the cover or at the story itself. And so, Chris, you have a piece prepared for us?
yeah, I do. If you guys are ready, I can just dive right into that.
Excellent. Let's get the scene changed over, Zafo, and then we will start the amazingness. All right, Chris, let's hear how awesome you are.
All right. So just a little bit of background on this passage that I chose to share with you all today. It takes place earlier in the story. It's a really pivotal moment for Josie. in multiple ways. One with just how she sees the world, but it affects people very close to her, who are also very formative to how she is, formed her worldview and how she interacts with the environment around her. So I'm just going to jump right into it. Uh, Josie Owens wrestled with how long to wait before she went back to Felix's office. She didn't even know why he had made her leave anyway, unless he knew more than he was letting on. She tried to be calm, but her mind raced, and it had been at least an hour already. Her patience had now run out. It was late in the workday now, so less folks were around. She stopped right before the last turn to the engineer's common area. Voices echoed out from the hatch that did not belong to any engineer that she knew. She crept down the passageway and stopped before the hatch leading to the room. I told you, I don't know anything, Felix's voice carried from within. Old man, do you think I would have made my way down here on false information? Another voice replied, cold and cruel. Josie's heart dropped when she peeked into the room, her knuckles white from how hard she was gripping the edge. Felix was tied to a metal chair. His gray hair flared wildly, and a dark ring around one of his eyes accompanied a busted lip. A man stood in front of Felix, his back turned to Josie, but she knew who it was by his short crop of blonde hair and the black tactical gear he wore. Commandant Reyes. The commander of the Peace and Compliance officers had blood smeared across his black leather gloves. Several other Peace and Compliance officers stood at the ready, but none faced the cracked open hatch where Josie spied. Felix looked at Commandant Reyes. As a lackey of the OSD, I'm sure you make your way around November's dawn for any number of mindless errands. Commandant Reyes' fist came hard and fast, connected squarely with Felix's jaw. The impact rocked the old engineer back. Felix spat a glob of blood onto the ground. You destroyed the hollow message in your office. Smart move. Tell me what it said, or I promise you these moments will be your last. Felix's eyes locked with Reyes's. Josie could see the pain and the sorrow they held, but they still flashed with a streak of defiance. Then I die, believing in a hope for a future that you will never know. Something I never lived with, but I am honored now to die with. You will fail, Reyes. We're stronger than you know. Felix smiled, a crooked, bloody approximation of one, but a smile all the same. Commandant Reyes scoffed. Enough of your babbling. He studied the old engineer for a moment more. Then, in one swift move, he drew a pistol and fired it into Felix's chest. The crack of the gunshot split Josie's ears. Time seemed to stand still. She took one last look at Felix as his eyelids fluttered and closed. She focused on Commandant Reyes. Through the storm of her emotions, one impulse drove above the rest. Rage. She clenched her fists around a screwdriver in her pocket. This man had taken everything from her. She wanted to make him feel as she did, to feel the same loss, the same pain. Just as she was about to sprint through the hatch, an arm wrapped around her chest and pulled her back. Josie squirmed wildly to break its hold. The grip relaxed as she turned and recognized Miles. With one hand, he held her close, and the other he brought to his lips in a gesture, begging her to be quiet. Josie struggled for a moment more before giving up. He pointed back to the hatch, back to Felix's lifeless body. The old man was working with a girl, Josie Owens. Find her and bring her back to me. Commandant Reyes ordered. The Peace and Compliance officers gathered. The officers saluted and walked towards the hatch. Run, Josie. We have to run, Miles whispered. She took one last look at Felix's lifeless body, then at Reyes, and swore she would never stop until he paid for what he did. But Miles was right. There was no other choice now than to run down the dark, cold passageway. She was always running, only now it was for her very life. And that is it.
Yeah! That was a perfect passage. Good job.
Yeah, well, hopefully it kind of gives listeners a sense of the environment, what the stakes are, and what Josie's voice kind of feels like as they'll be reading this story.
Yeah, Chef says it's exciting, and Saki is just as excited. And then we had, who else do we have? We had Vanessa Aguirre.
Mm-hmm.
Aguirre. See, look, I can't keep it straight. And don't expect me to roll my R's. I'm so sorry. But also loves the cover. So thank you, thank you. It's pretty fun. The pre-order is up. Um, yeah, Karina says that she's looking forward to diving into it. Diving into,
Nice.
there's going to be a lot of underwater things going on, I think. There's going to be a lot of puns.
Oh, they all work.
That's right. I mean, it's a very serious novel, right? Like, there's some tough stuff that happens in this thing. So, and, to watch me being now an old person, to experience it through, the child, where as an old person, I want to protect her. And,
Mhm.
you can't. She's got to do it on her own. And it's so fulfilling to watch her, change and come into her own, that it's really fun to see it all happen. But it's there's some tough stuff. So I think if we don't do any puns, it's just going to be too hard to get through.
Yeah, you gotta have you gotta have some fun with it, some hope.
You got to have the
Um,
humor.
story's
Mhm,
gotta be fun somehow.
mhm. And I'll say, so from your passage, you introduced Miles, and I'm very excited about the two of them. Um, so I can't wait till people get to see that relationship going on. And I
Mhm.
like that in the book you have very much her and Miles like discovering their relationship, but not really dependent on each other. Like Josie is very much her own person. And for her being as young as she is and being able to be like that, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, and that was, I would say, something I tried to be very intentional about.
Mhm,
These sorts, in my opinion, these sorts of journeys, of people figuring themselves out and, experiencing the world around them,
mhm.
those are very intimate, reflective, internal journeys. And so I never wanted this story to focus around Josie's relationship with somebody else her age. It was about the relationship with herself and how she comes to find her place.
And how she defines her world. So I really like that. Yeah, Saki says it sounds like stuff is really going off the deep end. Yeah, yeah, it's never ending.
Really.
This is it's just, I mean, it's just going to be made for this. We should just, make some pictures that we just post up that are all puns about this book. And then everyone's going to think it's a funny book until they read it. But no, I love it. I love it. I love it. But I just have to say that I am so honored to be publishing your first book. And so know that it is good, it is in good hands, and we are very excited that all of these people will be able to see what an incredible writer you are.
Yeah, I'm thrilled. I know you guys do a great job. And like I said, seeing this sort of journey take place, uh, as much as Josie's going on a journey, so am I. So
Right?
it's all gonna be great.
Let the adventure begin. Awesome. All right. Do you have any last words for the audience so they go and pre-order right now?
Nothing, I guess, that I haven't been able to touch on so far. It's just, if this is a sort of story that interests you, or you like young adult dystopian, that sort of setting, a lot of those same themes, come into play in one way or another in this story. And I just really hope that you fall in love with the characters in the setting as much as I have.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you very much, Chris. And we look forward to seeing everyone back here on Tuesday, April 9th at 8 p.m. And we shall then bring you this amazing book. And we have a lot more in-depth questions that we get to ask then. It's so hard to do these cover reveals without like giving so many things away.
Yeah, and it's
So
hard
we shall
picking a
save that.
passage.
Yes, yes. No, you chose perfect though. That was great. 'Cause that's a very pivotal moment. But it happens at the beginning, like you said. So
Mhm.
that's what sets everything off. So it was a beautiful choice. All right. And then Chris, so for anyone who wants an art copy or wants to keep up with what's happening and know what's going on in your writing world, where can people find you?
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram at CT Masaga. Also, my website is ctmasaga.com. You can sign up there for my monthly newsletter. Also available right now is a short story, Chasing the Dawn. And that one serves as a sort of introduction, lays the foundation for the November's Dawn world. So if you are interested in more of that sort of history and lore and why things kind of turned out the way they did in the novel, that short story would be awesome for you to read. It gives you all that context, and you could read it before or after November's Dawn. So, it'll all make sense either way.
It's really good. Just go get it now. Join that newsletter, get that story. It's worth it. I really love it. But thank you very much, and we will see everyone soon. Bye.
Bye, everybody.